There you go, that's better. Um, right. This is a vlog on Universal Credit. They seem to be popular. It doesn't matter what vlog I do. If I do domain names, I might get 5 or 6 views. If I do car life, I might get 15 to 20 views, yeah? Van life or whatever, yeah? If I do day trading, I might get 10, 15 views, yeah? If I do a vlog on Universal Credit, it gets 100 views quite quickly. So here we go. But I'm, I'm vlogging it. This is my channel. It's me getting through life, trying to get by. Just a guy trying to get by. So it's Universal Credit, and there'll be people now in this situation. Right? They're either on Universal Credit, or they probably will be the first couple of weeks in January. Right? Uh, if you like today, I because I'm an agency driver, every so often during the middle of the year, I'll have a week where there's no work, or not much work, or 1 day or 2 days, whatever. It's not enough to So I get myself in a situation where I've got to turn down work because I can't get to work, which I need to work, but I've got to turn it down because I can't get there. Right, yeah? That has an impact on my car insurance or whatever else. Yeah. So what happens is they put a payment. If you miss your private payment because you're on food bank or whatever, yeah. Some insurance companies will actually add that to the end of your policy, which depending on when you start your policy. But for me, that happens between Christmas and New Year, right? Which is not the great because you don't get any work between Christmas and New Year and the New Year week, yeah. So as Christmas and New Year's fall in the middle of the week, working week, it's reduced the days of the week that I can work. So I was on the second Universal Credit, which I've had an second advance, which I can't now use because I've used both, but I've offered to actually have a attachment to earnings to pay off my two Universal Credit advances. Yeah? But I used to get a tab facility from work, a sub facility, yeah, and they deducted. But it's happened so that frequently, it was getting us nowhere, them or me. But it helped me out massively at the time. So the situation is now, because I had an extra payment on my insurance that I had to pay, I have to pay 2 months' payments of my final 2 months' payments of my car insurance on the in the week between Christmas and New Year, which is no fun, I can tell you. So I'm on an agency, which is flexible work, having to pay the two car payments, 2 months car insurance between um, Christmas and New Year, which puts you in a pickle, proper pickle. The Universal Credit will have actually closed the account because I borrowed the amount and I've actually been working since, yeah, and I've been earning more because they would actually, let's just say they close that account, that my second claim. If I opened it now, another one, they wouldn't give me advance because I've got two outstanding advances. But there's no way of actually. They should start taking off your advances from your first week's work when you get back to work, but they don't, which leaves you then with outstanding advances, which causes a problem when like now. So I've got nowhere to no. I've got digital assets everywhere, right? Yeah? Well, digital assets, domain names, right? Yeah? And they can be valued anywhere. Anyone, yeah, you can value them in GoDaddy Go Value. Some of them have got value in SGBot.com, but banks won't accept that as a collateral. So I can't get my way through. Well, I've got a couple of days. Hopefully, work will actually get that through. Because there's only been one working day today. And I'm not sure whether there's a payday between next Friday or not. So, and then you get a situation for those on Universal Credit, living or try. You see, this is it. I couldn't. If I was renting a room, it looks silly if you ever see me sleeping in the car. But I couldn't afford this week. I would not have been able to afford on 2.5 days, effectively. 2.5 days of payment, plus I've got attachment to earnings anyway. Plus, I've got the 2 weeks car insurance in the middle of Christmas and New Year week. I wouldn't have been able to afford to pay in December for more payments, for £400 a week payments for a rented room. Okay, so I haven't got the rented room. I've still got vehicle accommodation costs, which is my insurance costs. So, but they're not recognised by Universal Credit as having accommodation costs because they just magically think you just exist, and somehow you can magically just turn up at the dole office, but whatever it's called these days, whatever name it wants to call itself, Universal Credit. So so and that's why it's almost like that's why YouTubers are being YouTubers, because at some point 2, 3, 5 years down the road they will have something coming through from YouTube which might even be about the same amount of money as Universal Credit, which means they won't need Universal Credit, which then means Universal Credit will be scrapped or whatever because it's not fit for purpose. But how does a person, this is what the powers that be don't understand, yeah? It's like having a 20 grand a week holiday, yeah? The other side of the world. How do people get through on agency? They may have had just one day. I had 2.5 days before the Christmas week. I've had no work in the Christmas week because there's 2 bank holidays in the middle of the week, which makes it difficult. And there's a bank holiday in the middle of next week, which makes it difficult. So, although next week there should be a couple of days, hopefully. But, and I've got a couple of days holiday to take, which hopefully will get me through. But, and this is the problems that people on Universal Credit face, because if you're going to get work, you need to be able to get to work, which means you need to maintain your car and keep your accommodation. So, like anyone on Universal Credit, or has got to be keep themselves in a situation where they actually are able to get to work if work comes in, which is what you keep getting reminded of. If you ever get a Universal Credit, you know what I'm on about. It's like you keep getting nudged effectively, yeah, by Universal Credit. Accept your commitments. Reduce sanctions and all. Reduce money sanctions and whatever, yeah. They're not living in the real world. They're not living in the real world. All you've got to do is get people through this difficult period of time over New Year, Christmas and New Year. Just get them, even like give them, you might have to give them a visa or a Universal Credit card just so they can actually get their bills and get themselves through through the 2 or 3 weeks over Christmas, New Year. But they are completely clueless about this. This is why people are trying to do impossible sums, yeah? And you couldn't invent my situation. I've just been doing some day trading on the internet on an app that I use, right? Day trading the stock market, day trading options, which is my passion. But because I haven't got the actual money to trade, I use like pretend money in a practice account, yeah, which they give you a pretend balance that you can use to trade live options on the stock market. And I've just traded. I've got 2,000. I've just traded within the last 2 hours, hour and a half. I've just traded or purchased in the practice account roughly 2,000. 17, 2,300 options on 3 different options, yeah? over the course of, yes, combined it's 2,300 options. Within an hour and a half, they've gone up £1,000, right? This is stupid, right? But I couldn't use that in real money. But if I had real money, I'd be trading that and actually just cashing out now. And that's where we are. It's in the same week that I've actually seen a GTLD website address sell for £19,000, a website address, of which I've got as good, if not better than that. But trying to find someone that actually wants to pay that sort of money for it is difficult. So, and then I've got like my driving, which is my van life. My driving a van for a living. Because of the 2 holidays, there's 3 bank holidays within 2 weeks, meaning that's 3 days that you can't work. And you think, fortunately, that's just today. I could have put myself in a bit of a better situation financially, but I would have had to have a conversation with the insurance company and say, well, I couldn't pay the second payment. And then that causes all sorts of problems. So I've had to sort of just say, here, I help yourself, right, yeah? Take my last 2 payments, which gives me insurance for the month. Because as I live in my car, that's what I need, yeah? Otherwise, that creates a massive problem. So I didn't really have a choice but to actually just say it, well, they'll take what they take. So, and this is universal credit. This is what people don't realise. There's some people who have never ever been in debt in their life, and there's some people who have been in debt all their life and never know anything else but being in debt. But there's no flexibility for those that live a flexible lifestyle on universal credit. Because it's all, yes, you can borrow an advance as long as it's only £317. And by the way, if you borrow all the £317, that means there's no money for you to receive in a month's time because you've borrowed it all. Yeah, but there's a reason why people go on universal credit, and that's actually because they can't afford to survive financially, which is why they have to borrow the advance just to get through until the first payment. But if you're going to sign on now, for anyone signing on universal credit, they pay out in the 17th. I think it's the 17th. I think it's the 7th. Is it the 7th? They take your situation into account. I think up to about the 7th. I might be wrong, but they might be up to the 7th of January. Yeah. But let's just say you've had 3 weeks of work in December. You probably earn, I don't know, 700 quid, £1,000 or whatever. Yeah, I don't know, whatever it is you earn. And then you got made redundant, right? Yeah. You're going to have to put all those figures down, what you've earned, and they'll take it back to the 7th of December, and you'll have earned over 317 quid, won't you, right? Yeah. In the 3 weeks, or 2 weeks, or whatever it is. Yeah. So then they can't pay you anything on the 7th, yeah? Because you'll have earned more in the weeks coming up to December before Christmas. So you got made redundant on New Year's Eve or whatever, yeah? You'll have earned more money in the 2 or 3 weeks before Christmas, from the 7th of December in your assessment period to the 7th of when they pay it, your 7th to the 7th of January 2020 will be your assessment period, I think. So they pay out on the 12th or 13th or whatever it is of January. But you may be skint now, right? Yeah, and need money to borrow in advance. But they'll say, well, we can't give you an advance because you've earned too much money in the last month. Your assessment period, right? So this is how stupid universal credit is at times. But a lot of people now that are going to sign on think, I can't find a job, I'll sign on, right? Yeah? Universal credit. But they won't know this when they sign on. So then they may have a landlord, so they've got to pay a landlord for rent. and he'll want to know when he's going to get his money, his rent money, or her rent money, or whatever it is. Yeah, the landlord's rent money. So, and the person on Universal Credit says, "Well, I've signed on Universal Credit, and I'll get paid on so extra. I've got this appointment next week or whatever." And oh yeah, on the first week of the new year, and all that. And so, but then the landlord is going to be about 3 weeks behind on his rent, and then let's just say he was in arrears here with your rent, yeah. Then you've got to find a landlord that's tolerant enough to actually accept the arrears that you've probably already got, and the 2 or 3 weeks before they may get their rent, and whether they actually get rent because you've actually earned too much money in the assessment period. And that's Universal Credit, so that doesn't really help you out. The only way of helping people out, and Facebook pretty much can do it, as they will have their Libra coin in 2020, and you'll probably be able to just write to Facebook and say, I'm skint. Can you help us out? And he'll probably say, what do you want? 3, 4, 500 quid, whatever. If he could probably do it. This is how silly it is, and that's without any having to go down to a building to go and verify yourself to make sure that they know who you are and all that rubbish, right? Yeah. The joys of Universal Credit. There isn't many joys, I can tell you. But people who haven't been on Universal Credit will be in this situation. I watch a truck vlogger on YouTube, and he's now in a situation where he wasn't seeing his folks, his family. So he was on nights, his missus was on days or whatever, yeah, and it wasn't working out. He's earning decent money, top decent money, class 1 money, but there's more to life than money. And then at the Universal Credit station, there's not more than life. Well, yeah, but some money helps. But again, unless this truck vlogger gets his another job within the first couple of weeks in January, he'll be on Universal Credit. And then but he's a vlogger, so he might vlog his situation. But that's where we are. That's why food banks have to exist, because Universal Credit is not doing what it should. It's designed to help people out in a financial situation, of a financial situation, but it's not doing that, because it's got too many restrictions, too many and the form you got to fill out, right? Yeah, the form you got to fill out on Universal Credit. Have you got any shares? At the time I did, I had about 40,000 shares, right? Yeah, worth about 20 quid, 25 quid, only because I bought them cheap. Well, they devalued, but I bought them so cheap originally, right? I could buy 12,500 shares for 20 quid. But I had to declare that I got shares, right? Yeah, my 25 quid or whatever, yeah, or 30 quid, 40 quid or whatever it was. Yeah, but you haven't got to declare. Did you buy Bitcoin in 2008? And if you still got it, yeah, which means basically it's worth you bought it for 10p and it's worth about 7,000 quid. You haven't got to declare that on the Universal Credit form. No. You haven't got to declare on the Universal Credit form. Have you got GTLD domain names that you've bought for 30 quid that are worth 20,000? You haven't got to declare that, because they don't understand that. You haven't got to declare, have you got any Bitcoin? And in 2020, you should have on the form, have you bought any Libra coin? Facebook's Libra coin? That won't be on there either, right? Yeah, because they're stuck in a time warp down in the, I don't know, 1960s or wherever they are. They're not addressing the people's needs of 2020 in a digital era. And the problem is that Facebook and Google can do that, and YouTube does it, and Facebook does it, and YouTube does it via YouTube and Super Chat and all that, which gets people out of a situation that without that, they've got to then go down the Universal Credit Office and talk to people who haven't got a clue, or most of the time couldn't care less either, to explain their situation. Whereas a live stream and super chat solves all of that completely. No questions asked. A person does a vlog, they get a super chat, and that actually puts food on the table and fuel in the car. And that is as simple as YouTube. And even YouTube that doesn't even know about it really. It's just people with money helping those that haven't got money to live a better life or just get through a difficult phase. And they subscribe to that person's channel, etc. And that's as simple as YouTube is. All it is just it's creating a platform where people can help people without the need to actually go down the Universal Credit Office. That's it. That's why YouTube works. Google saw it being what it is now in 2005, which is 15 years ago. So it's already 15 years ahead of the public sector's answer to poverty. And there you go, that's the Universal Credit blog, that's my situation at the moment. So it's going to be it's going to be a fun weekend. Not. So I'm going to have to ease off my vlogs. So I won't be making too many vlogs this week because I can't. Because I can't put the data on it. I'll have to actually, I've got through about 40 gig of data, personal data, internet data, in the last week or so. I've topped up 50 gig. I can't afford to do that this next week. So I need some credit because I need to be on the internet at some point. I can't be in the car with no internet. So yeah, that's where we are. So my vlogs, mate. I'm only doing this now. It's dark outside. It's only 5 o'clock in the evening, and it's dark. In the summer, you'd be able to get a suntan at this time of day. You'd be out having a picnic. But it's now you can see the moon. And that's where we are. So yes, so that's my vlog. My universal credit situation. They're gonna say, well, you've already had 2 advances. Yeah, but it got me into working off a food bank, which it did. It's meant I've been able to pay my car insurance, which I have, and I should get work next week. Hopefully, a 1 day or 2 days. I've got a couple of days holiday to sort out. I can put that. And there you go. That's it. I've got GTLDs. I may have to list a GTLD in GoDaddy auctions. See what it gets. See, I don't really want to put them on bike now, but I don't think I've got a choice. And that's where I am. I should be living the dream. I should be living the dream. Day trading. My day trades now, I've not checked them, but they should be about, if they're going well, I think they're going, and they seem to be going that way. They should be up to about 1,500 to 2 grand now in about 2 hours from purchase, yeah, this afternoon. With another, what's the time now? 5, it's 5 o'clock. So another 4 hours of day trading. So I'll probably cancel them on. I'll probably cash out at about 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, something like that, and see where they get to. But that's what I would do. I'd love to do that. Just day trade the stock market. Love to. But again, that takes capital, and I haven't got the capital. I've got domain names that could produce the capital to do that. But people on Universal Credit are also in the similar situations where they've got work to go to, but they can't get to work and all that, but they need to work. It needs a Dragon's Den style situation where you turn up and local businesses sit there and just say, "What is your situation?" And you give them a pitch of your situation, and they will just say, basically, "Yeah, we'll do this for you," or whatever it is. And that's it. Even if you have to wear a high vis advertising their company for a month or so just because they helped you out, which gives them free advertising. That people would do that, I think. I had another idea as well, actually, because people have got debts and gas bills and electric bills to pay whatever winter and they can't afford to pay them. What happens if what would happen if people actually donated £1? Everyone that went to a football match in the UK, donated £1, and you give a bill or a debt that you can't pay, and and the collectively, that's probably say 10,000 quid, 20,000 quid per match, or whatever it is. Old Trafford, 80,000 quid, paying people's debts collectively. People donated £1. It would solve massively a lot of the problems in the UK. And there you go, it's just pie in the sky idea I had earlier on this afternoon. Take care. Thanks for listening. I haven't got a clue why you do, but thank you very much. Take care. Have a good one.